I came home and my ex's mother was sitting on my couch saying, "Mind if I stay for a while?" Evan Hale stood outside his apartment door longer than he meant to. The hallway lights hummed softly above him, flickering the way they always did when the station's power grid shifted between cycles. The air smelled faintly of recycled water and metal polish, a smell he remembered from childhood but had not missed during his months in deep space. His boots were dusty with residue from docking bays, and his shoulders ached from carrying too much for too long. He told himself it was just exhaustion that made him hesitate. He had dreamed of this moment during long, silent shifts, coming home, dropping his bag, sitting on his couch, letting the world stop moving for a few hours. Instead, his hand stayed frozen on the door scanner. He didn't know why, but something felt off. Evan finally pressed his palm to the panel. The door slid open with a soft hiss. Warm light spilled into the hallway. Someone was inside. His first thought was intruder. His second thought was worse. Evan's heart thudded in his chest as his hand moved toward the emergency baton clipped to his belt. He stepped inside slowly, careful not to make noise. Then he saw her. She was sitting on his couch. Not just sitting, relaxing. Her shoes were neatly placed beside the coffee table. His old blanket was folded over the armrest, like someone had cared enough to tidy it. She held a steaming mug in both hands, elbows resting on her knees. She looked up when he entered, calm eyes meeting his. "Oh," she said gently, "you're home." Evan stared. She was older, maybe in her late 50s. Soft gray streaked her dark hair, tied loosely at the back. Her face was kind, lined in a way that suggested warmth more than age. He recognized her immediately. It was his ex's mother. "Maya," he said. She smiled. "Hi, Evan." He stood frozen just inside the door, his bag slipping from his shoulder and hitting the floor with a dull thud. What are you doing here?" She gestured to the couch beneath her. "Sitting. That's not what I meant." "I know." Silence stretched between them. Evan rubbed his face with both hands. Did I give you my access code at some point?" She shook her head. "No. And how did you get in?" She tilted her head slightly, like she was thinking carefully about her answer. The door was unlocked. "It wasn't." She smiled again, softly. "It is now." That didn't help. Evan looked around his apartment. Nothing was broken, nothing was out of place. The lights were on, the temperature was set to his usual comfort range. His kitchen counter had been wiped clean. A pot sat on the stove, still warm. "Did you cook?" he asked. "Yes." "You didn't burn anything?" "Not yet." He exhaled slowly. His last memory of Maya Rowan was from 2 years ago, at her daughter's birthday dinner. She had hugged him like family back then. That had been before everything fell apart, before long distance, before silence. Still, this wasn't normal. "Why are you here?" he asked. She raised her mug slightly. "Mind if I stay for a while?" Evan stared. "That's not an answer." "It is," she said, "just not the full one." He didn't move closer. "You broke into my apartment." "I didn't break anything." "That's not the point." She sighed and set the mug down. "My shuttle malfunctioned. I was redirected to this station. Every hotel is booked. Every transit pod is delayed. I had nowhere else to go." "Oh, you came here?" "Yes." "Why?" She looked at him for a long moment. "Because I knew you wouldn't turn me away." That hit harder than he expected. Evan glanced down at his boots, at the dust, at the worn edges. He had just returned from 6 months hauling equipment between frontier colonies, sleeping in cryo and waking to alarms. He hadn't spoken to Maya's daughter in over a year. He should have been angry. Instead, he was tired. "How long have you been here?" he asked. She checked the time on the wall display. "About 2 hours? And you just let yourself in?" "Yes." He ran a hand through his hair. "You know that's not okay." "I know. And you didn't think to call. I didn't want to wake you if you were resting." He blinked. "How did you know I was coming home today?" She smiled faintly. Lucky guess. He didn't like that answer either. Another silence. Settled. Evan looked at his couch again. It had been months since anyone else had sat there. The room felt different now. Warmer. Lived in. "I'll make some tea," he said suddenly. "You already have," she replied. He turned toward the kitchen and saw 2 mugs on the counter, one steaming, one empty. "Did you go through my cabinets?" "Yes." "My fridge?" "Yes." "My—" "Only the food parts," she said quickly. He sighed. "Fine," he muttered. "You can stay. For tonight." Her shoulders relaxed slightly. "Thank you. But tomorrow we figure something out." "Of course." He picked up his bag and walked past her toward the bedroom. As he passed, he caught the faint scent of something unfamiliar. Not perfume. Something cleaner, almost sharp. He stopped. "You changed my air filter." She blinked. "Yes? Why?" "It was clogged." "How did you know?" She smiled. "It was loud." It hadn't been. Evan frowned but kept walking. He dropped his bag onto the bed and leaned against the wall, pressing his eyes shut. This was ridiculous. He came home from deep space to find his ex's mother living in his apartment. Still, he felt strangely calm. After a quick shower, he returned to the living room wearing old clothes. Maya was still on the couch, now flipping through a digital magazine on his tablet. "That's mine," he said. "Yes." She handed it to him without protest. "Hungry?" she asked. "I thought you said you cooked." "I did." He glanced at the stove. "You made soup?" "Yes. That's actually what I eat when I'm tired." She nodded, like she already knew. They sat at the small table together. The soup was good. Really good. Warm, steady, comforting. "You didn't add salt," he said. "You prefer it without," she replied. Evan paused mid-bite. "I never told you that." She shrugged. "People don't usually." That didn't make sense. "Where did your shuttle malfunction?" he asked. "Near the outer transit ring. Did they assign you a repair team?" "Yes." "Then why aren't you waiting at the terminal?" She looked at him. "Because I didn't want to." He frowned. "That's not how transport law works," she smiled. "I'm very persuasive." He didn't push it. After dinner, Evan leaned back on the couch, exhausted. Maya sat across from him in the chair near the window, watching the distant glow of ships drifting through space. "You've changed," she said. "So have you," he replied. She smiled faintly. "That's fair." "What do you mean I've changed?" "You're quieter." "I was always quiet." "You were tired before," she said. "Now you're tired differently." He didn't know how to answer that. "You still fly cargo?" she asked. "Yes." "You still volunteer for deep runs?" "Sometimes. Even though they don't pay much, they pay enough." She tilted her head. "That's not why you do it." He frowned. "What makes you say that? 'Cause you like helping people who can't help themselves?" He laughed once. "That's not true." She looked at him steadily. "Ah, you once diverted your ship during a storm to pull 3 workers out of a failing habitat ring." He froze. "That report was sealed." "Yes." "Only command and my crew knew about that." She shrugged. "I hear things. You don't work for station security?" "No." "Or fleet command?" "No." "Then how do you know?" Sometimes stories travel farther than people think. That didn't explain sealed logs. Evan felt a ripple of unease move through his chest. You shouldn't know that, he said quietly. She met his eyes. But I do. Silence returned. Outside the window, a transport ship glided past, its lights blinking in steady rhythm. The hum of station systems filled the room. You didn't answer my question earlier, he said. Which one? Why you really came here? She looked at the stars for a long moment before speaking. Because you were close, she said. Close to what? Home. This is home, he replied. She smiled softly. Exactly. He didn't understand. That night, Evan tried to sleep. He didn't succeed. Every time he closed his eyes, his mind replayed the day. Her sitting on his couch. The soup. The things she knew. At some point, he heard movement in the apartment. Soft footsteps. He opened his eyes and looked at the door. It was still closed. The lights in the hallway outside his room flickered faintly. He checked the time. 2:17 a.m. He got out of bed and stepped into the living room. Maya stood by the window. She wasn't moving. She wasn't sleeping. She was staring at space. The stars reflected faintly in her eyes. Can't sleep? He asked. No. Me neither. They stood in silence. What are you looking at? He asked. Patterns, she said. In stars? In people? He frowned. That's not helpful. She smiled faintly. It's honest. You're acting strange, she said. I know. You're not explaining anything. I will. When? When you're ready. I'm ready now. No, you're not. That annoyed him more than he expected. Why did my door open for you? He asked. She paused. Answer me. Because you never changed your emergency override. That code is encrypted. Yes. And tied to my biosignature. Yes. Then how did you? She raised a hand gently. I didn't hack it. Then what? I asked. He stared. You asked my door. Yes. That's not funny. I wasn't joking. Evan felt a chill move through him. You're not making sense, he said. Most truths don't at first. That made it worse. He returned to his room unsettled and lay awake until morning. When he woke, sunlight filtered through the station's artificial day cycle. He heard soft sounds from the kitchen. Cooking again. He stepped out to find Maya making breakfast. You don't have to do that, he said. I want to. She slid a plate toward him. Eggs. Toast. Fruit. You don't even know what I like. You don't like onions, she said. He blinked. That's true. You like citrus, she added. But not too much. That's also true, she smiled. See? Easy. It's not, he said. She didn't answer. After breakfast, Evan grabbed his wrist console and checked his messages. None from Maya's daughter. Not that he expected any. But something else caught his attention. His personal log access history. There was a new entry, time-stamped 3 hours ago, from inside his apartment. He stared. He hadn't accessed his logs. He turned slowly toward Maya. Did you use my console last night? No. Did you touch my wall panel? No. Did you go into my room? No. Then how were my logs accessed? She looked at him calmly. They weren't. They were, he said, holding up his wrist display. She leaned closer, studying it. That's odd, she said. Don't act surprised. I'm not acting. He felt his frustration rising. This is serious. Those logs are private. Yes. And classified. Yes. Then why were they opened? She met his eyes. Because someone needed to know what kind of person you are. His stomach tightened. Pooh! Someone who wasn't sure before. That's not an answer. It's the only one I can give right now. He stared at her, pulse pounding. Are you spying on me? No. Are you working for someone? No. Then explain. She took a slow breath. Evan, she said gently, have you ever felt like the universe was watching? He frowned. No. Like your choices mattered more than you knew? No. Like someone was paying attention when no one else was? No, he said sharply. And this is getting strange. She nodded. It is. Then stop. I can't. Why not? Because it's already started. What started? She looked at the ceiling, then back at him. The next step. His chest tightened. You're not making sense, he said. I know. That's not comforting. I know. He paced the room, running a hand through his hair. Look, he said. I don't know what's going on with you, but you can't just come into my home, access my systems, and refuse to explain. You're right. Then explain. She hesitated. Not yet, she said. Why? Because once I do, things change. They already have. Yes, she agreed. But not completely. He stopped pacing and faced her. What do you want from me? She smiled softly. Nothing. Then why are you here? Because you matter. That's not true. It is. I'm a cargo pilot. You're more than that. He shook his head. You don't know me. I do, she said quietly. He didn't respond. A chime sounded from his wrist console. Incoming station, alert. He opened it. Across Earth Station Prime, systems flickered. Navigation nodes reset. Docking schedules scrambled. Communication relays dropped for seconds at a time. It wasn't serious. Yet, but it was strange. System glitch? He muttered. Maya looked toward the ceiling. Is something wrong? He asked. No, she said. He didn't believe her. Did you do something? No. Then why are you staring like that? Because it's earlier than expected. What is? She met his eyes. The noise. There is no noise. There is, she said softly. You just can't hear it yet. His skin prickled. Okay, he said. That's it. You're either sick or hiding something big, and I don't like either option. She nodded. Fair. I need answers. You'll get them. When? Soon. That's not good enough. She stepped closer, her voice gentle. Evan, she said, do you trust me? No. She smiled faintly. Good. That means you're thinking. That's not funny. I'm not trying to be funny. He sighed and looked away. Outside, the station's lights shifted as the artificial day cycle moved forward. Ships drifted in slow arcs beyond the window. Look, he said finally, you can stay tonight. Maybe tomorrow. But after that, we talked to station housing, transit control, something. Okay. And no more accessing my stuff? Okay. And no more weird answers. She smiled gently. I can't promise that. That's not reassuring. I know. He rubbed his temples. I'm going to work, he said. Try not to, I don't know, break reality while I'm gone. She laughed softly. I'll do my best. He paused at the door. You really didn't tell me how you got in? She met his eyes. I told you, the door was unlocked. It wasn't. Then maybe, she said gently, you just thought it was. He stared, then he left. At the docking bay, Evan tried to focus on his shift. Diagnostics. Cargo alignment, routine checks. But his mind kept drifting back to his apartment, to Maya, to the way she knew things she shouldn't, to the way his logs had been accessed, to her standing at the window at night, staring at space like she was waiting for something. During his break, he pulled up station security logs. He searched for entry records to his apartment. There were none. No door activation. No biometric scans. No manual override. It was like no one had entered at all. Except she was there. His chest tightened. That wasn't possible. He checked again. Still nothing. He leaned back in his chair, heart pounding. Something was very wrong. When his shift ended, Evan rushed home. The hallway outside his apartment was empty. The door slid open at his touch. Inside, the lights were on. The air smelled clean, too clean. "Maya?" he called. "In here," her voice replied from the living room. He walked in. She was sitting on the couch again, exactly where she had been the day before. Same posture, same calm expression, like she had never moved. "You didn't leave," he said. "No." "You didn't go anywhere?" "No." "You stayed here all day?" "Yes." "Doing what?" "Listening." "To what?" She smiled faintly. "Everything." He swallowed. "Station security has no record of you entering my apartment." She nodded. "I know. That's not normal." "No." "Then explain." "Not yet." His jaw tightened. "This isn't funny." "I know." "Then stop treating it like it is." She stood slowly. "Evan," she said softly, "I didn't come here to scare you." "Then you're failing." She smiled sadly. "I came because something is about to change." "What?" "Everything." "That's not helpful. It's honest." He rubbed his face. "Why me?" he asked quietly. She met his eyes. "Because when the universe needed someone to choose others over himself," she said, "you already had." His throat tightened. "That doesn't mean anything." "It means everything." He didn't respond. His wrist console chimed. Another alert. Multiple system failures, docking delays, navigation errors. Across the station. "That's weird," he muttered. Maya turned toward the window. "It's starting," she said. "What is?" "The questions," she replied. He stared. "What questions?" She looked back at him. "The ones humanity doesn't know it's about to be asked." A chill ran through him. "You're talking like this is bigger than you?" "It is? Then tell me. Soon. Why not now? Because you still think this is about me, isn't it?" "No." "Then what is it about?" She met his eyes. "You." Before he could respond, the lights flickered. Just for a second. Then everything returned to normal. Evan's heart raced. "That doesn't happen," he said. "Sometimes," she replied. "It does." He stared at her. "You're not human," he said suddenly. She didn't deny it. She didn't confirm it either. She simply said, "Not exactly." His breath caught. "What does that mean?" "It means I'm closer to you than you think," she said softly, "and farther than you can imagine." His mind spun. "You're saying aliens are living on my couch," she smiled. "Not living. Visiting. That's not better?" "I know." "Why pretend to be my ex's mother?" "Because you already trusted her," she said. "And trust matters. You're using her face." "No," she said gently. "I'm using her shape." "That's worse." "I know." "Then stop." "I can't." "Why?" "Because she agreed." His chest tightened. "Agreed to what?" "To help," she said. "Help with what?" "With you." "That doesn't make sense." "Not yet." He staggered back and sat on the edge of the couch. "This is insane," he muttered. "Most important things sound that way at first," she replied. "You're not answering anything." I'm answering carefully. Why? Because too much truth too fast breaks people. I'm already broken, he said. She looked at him with unexpected softness. No, she said. You're tired. That hit harder than everything else. He looked down. I just wanted to come home, he said quietly. You did, she replied. This isn't home, he said. It is, she said gently. It's just bigger now. Silence fell. Outside, ships drifted past the window. Inside, Evan tried to breathe. Tell me one real thing, he said. She nodded. Okay, just one. I didn't come here by accident, she said. That's not comforting. But it's true. Why did you come? Because something is watching your world, she said. And someone needed to watch you. His heart pounded. Watching why? To decide something. Decide what? She hesitated. Whether humanity is worth saving. The words landed like ice. What? She met his eyes. And you, she added softly, are part of that answer. His mouth went dry. That's not possible, he said. Most important things don't feel possible, she replied. He shook his head. You're lying? I'm not? Then prove it. She didn't move. Instead, the wall panel behind her flickered. Not glitched. Changed. Lines of code scrolled across it faster than any system diagnostic should. Evan's breath caught. What did you do? Nothing, she said. I asked. The panel returned to normal. His legs felt weak. You can control systems. I can listen to them, she replied. That's not the same. It is where I come from. Where's that? She smiled faintly. Not here. He stared at her. So what happens now? He asked. Now, she said, you keep living your life. And you? I watch. That's it? For now? No, that's not happening. Why not? Because this is my life, he said. My home. And I'm not taking either from you, she said softly. I'm just borrowing space. That's not what this feels like. I know. You need to leave, he said. She didn't argue. She simply said, not yet. His jaw tightened. Why? Because you're about to be needed. For what? For something you already know how to do. What's that? Choose. Before he could respond, his wrist console chimed again. Emergency alert. Unidentified signal detected beyond station perimeter. Long-range scanners could not classify it. Traffic control ordered all civilian pilots to stand by. Evan's heart skipped. That's not normal, he whispered. Maya looked toward the window. It's closer than expected, she said. What is? She turned to him. The question. The lights flickered again. Longer this time. Somewhere deep in the station, alarms began to sound. Evan stared at her. What did you bring into my home? He demanded. She met his eyes. A hope, she said softly, and trouble. Outside the window, the stars seemed to shift, just slightly. Enough to be wrong. Evan's pulse thundered in his ears. This isn't real, he whispered. It is, she replied, and it's just beginning. His wrist console vibrated again. Another alert. Navigation blackout across multiple sectors. Unknown energy spike near the station's edge. He looked at Maya. You said you weren't here by accident. Yes. You said something is watching us. Yes. You said I matter. Yes. Then tell me what's happening. She hesitated. Then she said quietly, humanity is about to be tested. Tested how? Not by strength, she said. Not by weapons. Not by power. Then by what? By who you choose to be when no one tells you what to do? His throat tightened. That's not a test, he said. That's life. She smiled. Exactly. The alarms grew louder. Lights flashed across the station. Evan stood in his living room staring at the woman who wasn't quite his ex's mother and wasn't quite human. I just wanted to come home, he said. You did, she replied. You just didn't know how big home really was. Outside, something moved between the stars. And for the first time in his life, Evan felt like the universe was watching back. Evan barely slept that night. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw the lights flickering, the stars shifting, and Maya's calm face as alarms filled the station. When morning came, his body felt heavy, like gravity itself had doubled. The apartment was quiet, too quiet. Evan sat up in bed and listened. No footsteps, no cooking sounds, no soft humming from the living room. Maya, he called. No answer. His chest tightened. He swung his legs over the side of the bed and walked into the living room. The couch was empty. Her shoes were gone. The blanket was folded neatly. The mug she had used last night sat clean and dry on the counter. She was gone. For a moment, Evan felt relief. Then unease replaced it. Nothing else in the apartment was disturbed. The air felt the same. The lights glowed steadily, but the space felt hollow, like something important had stepped out without closing the door behind it. He checked the door panel. No exit record. No entry record, no motion logs. It was as if she had never been there. That's impossible, he muttered. His wrist console chimed. Station update. Multiple systems had gone offline overnight. Navigation nodes across 3 sectors had glitched. Civilian traffic was grounded for 6 hours, then slowly restored. The official explanation was a solar flare. Evan didn't believe it. He pulled up internal station feeds. Maintenance crews moved through corridors, checking panels and running diagnostics. Security drones hovered near power junctions. Nothing looked damaged, yet nothing felt right. He sat on the couch, staring at the spot where Maya had sat. You can't just disappear, he said aloud. The room did not answer. He stood, grabbed his jacket, and headed for the docking bays. The station corridors buzzed with quiet tension. People walked faster than usual. Conversation stopped when officers passed. Screens flashed system notices in calm tones that did not match the energy in the air. Evan passed a group of cargo pilots near the transport hub. Did you feel that last night? One of them asked. Feel what? Another replied. The station shifting, like space hiccuped. That's not a thing. It felt like one. Evan didn't join in. He kept walking. At Dock 9, his ship rested where he had left it. The hull lights blinked in steady rhythm. The nameplate on the side read, Quiet Step. He climbed aboard and ran diagnostics. Everything came back green. Too green. No residual energy spikes. No radiation traces. No power fluctuations. It was like nothing had happened. Except it had. He pulled up long-range sensor data from the station's public feed. Most of it was locked behind clearance walls, but civilian summaries showed odd patterns, noise in places that should have been silent, gaps where data should have been smooth. Static, he muttered, but not random. He leaned back in the pilot's chair, rubbing his eyes. This was ridiculous. He was letting one strange night mess with his head. Still, the empty apartment, the missing logs, the flickering lights, and Maya's words refused to leave him alone. Someone is watching your world. Someone needed to watch you. He shook his head. I need sleep, he said. His wrist console buzzed again. Private message from station security. His heart skipped. He opened it. Pilot Evan Hale, please report to Security Office Level 3 for routine questioning regarding system activity near your residence. Great, he muttered. The walk to Level 3 felt longer than usual. The halls grew quieter the deeper he went. The walls were thicker, the lights brighter, the air colder. At the security office, a tall man with short dark hair met him at the desk. Pilot Hale? Yes, I'm Officer Grant. Follow me. They walked into a small interview room, a table, 2 chairs, a screen on the wall. Have a seat, Grant said. Evans sat. Grant activated the screen. You live in Unit 47B, correct?
Yes. You returned from a long-haul run yesterday. Yes. Between 1910 and 2240, your unit's systems accessed restricted station subnets.
Evan blinked. My apartment? Yes. I wasn't home yet. We know. Then how? That's what we'd like to know. Evan hesitated. Someone was there, he said. Grant raised an eyebrow. Who? My ex's mother? Grant paused. Your ex's mother accessed restricted networks? Yes. Grant stared. That doesn't make sense. I know. Does she work in tech? No. Military? No. Security? No. Then how did she get into your apartment? I don't know. Grant leaned back. Your unit logs show no entry or exit. No biometric scans. No motion triggers. That matches what I saw. Then how do you know she was there? Because I spoke to her. She cooked dinner. She slept on my couch. Grant stared. You're serious? Yes. Do you have any proof? No. Any messages? No. Any recordings? No. Grant folded his arms. So, let me get this straight. Someone entered your apartment without triggering any systems, accessed classified networks through your home interface, and vanished without a trace. Yes. And your explanation is your ex's mother.
Yes.
Grant exhaled slowly. We ran a background scan on Maya Rowan, he said. She doesn't exist. Evan's stomach dropped. That's not possible. No birth records. No transit history. No housing registration. No medical files. That's impossible, Evan repeated. I met her years ago. She's real. She isn't in our system. Evan stared at the table. That's not funny, he whispered. Grant watched him closely. Pilot Hale, are you feeling well?
Yes.
Any history of stress-related hallucinations?
No.
Sleep deprivation? Yes, Evan admitted. But not this. Grant sighed. We're not accusing you of anything, but your apartment was used as a bridge into secure networks. We need to know how. I don't know. Grant studied him. Did this woman say anything unusual? He asked. Yes, Evan replied. Everything. Like what? She said something is watching humanity. Grant blinked. She said I was being watched. Grant blinked again. She said humanity is about to be tested. Grant leaned back slowly. That's not normal. I know. Did she threaten you? No. Did she mention weapons? No. Did she demand anything? No. Then why tell you that? I don't know. Grant rubbed his chin. We're going to run a deeper scan on your unit, he said. And on you. On me? Routine, Grant replied. Medical, psychological, nothing invasive. I don't like this, Evans said. Neither do we. Grant stood. You're free to go, for now. But don't leave the station. I wasn't planning to. Grant opened the door. If this woman contacts you again, tell us immediately. Evan nodded. If she shows up again, Grant added, call security. I doubt that'll help, Evan muttered. Grant didn't hear him. Evan left the security wing feeling hollow. Maya doesn't exist. The words echoed in his head. That meant either security was lying or something far worse was true. He returned to his apartment. It was exactly the same as he had left it. No signs of entry. No signs of life. He stood in the doorway, unsure what he expected. "Maya?" he said. Nothing. He moved inside slowly, scanning the room. Still nothing. He checked the bedroom, the bathroom, the storage closet. Empty. He sat on the couch, rubbing his face. "This is insane," he whispered. He opened his personal logs again, another access entry. Time stamped 5 minutes ago. From inside his apartment.